Hello, my friends. I have a little bit of a funny introduction question today that has been showing up in here somewhere for a little while. And so I want to ask, who is to be held responsible for what is going on in the world right now? Now, like, hold your horses, hold your horses, because there might be many people who are going to say, yeah, that, him, her, la, la, la. So let's just slow it down a little bit and just find out who is to blame for what's happening in the world. Who should we hold responsible for that? And again, follow along with me and see what shows up in you. There might be a lot of answers that you think are right. They might come really, really fast before you even let it run through your inner guidance or GPS system. So just, my life, my work, the way I function, everything is always kind of funneled through. Not that I do that, but everything that shows up I kind of meet it from inside of me so that I can sense, what resonates, what is true for me. How does that land in me? Does it resonate with me? And many times, if we don't have that ability to let it go inside and then let the answer come from there, and if we just answer immediately from here, right, from the five sense mind that is a projection of the matrix, then what is in there is all the programming. That's what we have been programmed to believe and to accept. And most answers come from here. It's only when you really learn to just take your time, take a pause before you answer or react or whatever, or respond. Take a moment and just feel it first. Because then you're coming from a much deeper place. You're not just engaging with your matrix mind, and the outside matrix mind. Of course, it's the same. So it's just an invitation to just step out of that for a moment. So, who is to blame for what we're going through, what's happening in the world? And I want to put that twist on it right now. And I want to say, light workers, if you consider yourself in that light worker tribe or identification, kind of knowing you came here for something, could it be us? Is it because of us that everything is collapsing out there? I know that's a big mouthful, right? If you're a little scared, innocent light worker who doesn't go out and do much, but maybe do a lot of inner work, then you may go, what? Or you may go, oh yeah, oh yeah, because we're very powerful, but we do it kind of, behind the scenes. We're not necessarily out there speaking about it, but inside, there's always this process, this energy, this expression that we engage in and make ourselves available for. I think it's a few videos ago that I talked about this, that could it be that we as light workers have been soaking and making ourselves available to such a degree in the light, in the new frequencies, in the invisible field that we have been feeling for a while, and that there's so much energy coming in that my friend has an app that shows it when the resonant, no, the what's it called? Schumann's resonance, when sometimes it comes in so strong. And many of us can feel that. We don't sleep much at night. We feel like buzzy and whatever. It can bring up a lot of stuff. But we are making ourselves available for that so that these energies can clear us out from the the false matrix or the old paradigm, and it's very uncomfortable, right? Stuff comes up to the surface, and we need to learn to be present with it, and not get lost in it again, or not believe it. So there's a lot to be said for just, holding your space, stay in your center, stay connected to your soul connection, and allow this stuff that we have been programmed with for eons, let it move through. Don't try and grab onto it. Don't try and justify it, figure it out. Don't make a story around it. And this is not easy, but this is what a lot of us are practicing. I don't think anybody has perfected it yet, although there might be some. So that's what we're doing in ourselves. And as this is being dismantled inside of us, of course, we see that happening outside, because the inside and the outside is the same from here. This is that. The felt sense experience of our soul, of the energies, of the frequencies, whatever we call it, that is different in one way. It's the same, of course, because there's only one, but I don't want to go into that right now. I want to see that we can actually stay grounded in our own divine presence, our I am presence, and just start observing as stuff comes up. How many of you can relate to stuff coming up? It's been huge for the last few years, and it's quite intense right now, because everything inside of us needs to be released, healed, brought back home, and integrated, loved, whatever it is, so that we can be fully aligned with the divine, with the new divine expression that is here now. And that's why that is also reflected back in the outside. So, my dear fellow light workers, maybe we are to blame for what's happening out there, the full deconstruction and collapse of the matrix. Could it be that we are so powerful? And I don't mean that in an ego way at all. I mean that, could it be that we are so powerful that all the deep inner work that we have done on ourselves, by becoming that shining light more and more, and then of course that shines into the world, and it touches everything there that is not realized as light, but our light shines its light on the seeming darkness, and that's why the seeming darkness has to come up and be dissolved where it is not aligned with love, with peace, with justice, with oneness. You can probably make your own list of what you know to be true when you are aligned with yourself. And you just know, like, no, that is not aligned with God or with love or whatever. So all the work that we have been doing for so many years, and I'm not saying we have done this on our own, because I feel that there's a strong support, from the field itself. But since the field has been pressing on by inviting us to open up to it, that's the pressure we felt, right? Where our stuff comes up. So the more it has been pressing in on us, the more we have let that matrix identity come up and be dissolved, right? All the parts that are not aligned with God, with love, with life. And that's why we are now a much brighter light, a higher frequency that shines its light without us doing anything. All we have been able to do is make ourselves available for it and willingly let go of, it's like the coat on a seed, right? By us letting the light in, the seed inside starts growing, and eventually the coat around the seed or the shell around the seed breaks. It just cracks open because the new is coming through. And you can go back and watch some of my previous YouTubes about, that the matrix, the earth, that seed, that shell is cracking because the light is coming through and the darkness of the seed cannot hold it. And it is not meant to. So we're not going to go in and, and try and fix the shell or the coat around it. We're just going to celebrate that it's cracking as we are now much more connected to the seed inside that is sprouting and taking root and coming out of the ground into visibility. That is what we are seeing in the world. It's not a bad thing. It looks bad, and it probably looks bad for the coat around the seed or the shell around the nut, whatever. It probably looks really bad when it suddenly starts to crack and break. It's like, oh my God, what's going on? And then poof, then the seed starts growing. That is what I see happening out there. And I want to celebrate all us light workers for having done our work for so long that we are now beginning to see the fruits coming out, but they're not that visible yet. But we can feel it, right? We can feel that like, oh, yeah, I can just feel it more now than ever, but it doesn't look so good out there, right? So for many, many out there, the coat is just beginning to crack. The seed is just beginning to open up. And that is what we are seeing. All the lies, all the deception, all the greed, all the whatever is happening out there. Whatever side you're on, do not take a side. It has nothing to do with that. That is just the seed cracking, the seed that was holding our true essence back, suppressed. It's cracking, well, who cares if it's a blue or a red side of the seed? Who cares? It has nothing to do with it. Stay with what is happening inside and allow that to crack and dissolve that which does not belong here anymore, that which is outdated. It has run its course. It has reached its shelf life. It's done. It may not look like it yet, but it is done. If I can just convey that to you, that so you don't try to revive it anymore. You can't. It's like the coat of a seed cannot be revived once the seed starts coming out. I hope that metaphor is helpful. And then maybe we light workers can, instead of thinking we should be blamed for it or that we are responsible for it in a negative way, we can say, yeah, we're actually responsible for that. Shh, don't tell anybody or everybody yet, but yeah. And maybe instead of being blamed, we need to be thanked, or be grateful that we have done that to ourselves. You're like, wow, yeah, I'm actually part of this light coming out because I have been listening to it. I have made myself available for it. And now it's beginning to bear fruit. Little shaky for a while, but please keep your focus. Keep your attention and your awareness on the light. Keep doing your work so that even more light can come through that might even speed up the process out there. So it doesn't have to be, dragged on for too long. And I'm sure there is a shelf life for that whole thing to be over completely. But why not keep shining our light and keep bringing that energy to what's really happening now? We couldn't see much. It seemed like for many years, like, well, what difference does it make? Now we can see it made a huge difference. So Let's pat ourselves on the back, on the shoulder, and say, job well done. And we can thank each other. Let's stay connected. Let's keep doing the work we came here for, was being the light more than do. The doing was more like be willing to release what is not light yet, visibly. But let's congratulate each other. Let's stay connected. Let's keep supporting each other and just keep moving on. Thank you.